Hey, it's Chris's Comments, the show of common sense on common ground, no matter what the subject. And here I am thinking that I didn't really have to do this, but all the prophecies of God are coming true back here. For those of you who don't remember, I'm a rideshare driver, and I get myself a bunch of people in here talking about doomsday stuff. Yeah, Biden's ruining the country. Biden's tearing the country apart. Really? I thought it was the Mexicans. What happened to the immigrants? What the frack? Well, here's what I'm talking about. The vote is being extended once again to pass the infrastructure bill, the Reconciliation Act, the economic plans, and all that good stuff. Taxing the wealthy. Yeah. It's being pushed again. You got dumb butts like that Manchin who wants the budget to be reduced down to $2 trillion. No, excuse me. Reduced down by $2 trillion. No! That's the dumbest thing ever. Excuse me. And they got AOC. You know, I appreciate the spirit. But this lady has got to get herself together, okay? She said, oh, it's a great plan. But instead of funding it for 10 years, fund it for only 5. No! How the hell are we supposed to get $3 trillion, $3.5 trillion to be put to good use in 5 years? That'll be overworking us, people, us taxpayers. Because the wealthy will try to find as many loopholes as they can. We need to tax them, yes, but the biggest reality to expect out of it are the loopholes and little credits and all this other crap, policies permitted for corporations or wealthy people to take advantage of. Now, there's an exposed, some people are being exposed right now. Some corporations are being exposed right now. I forgot the name of the book. It's just now come to mind. But there's many corporations, including a few celebrities like Shakira, that are hiding their millions and hundreds of thousands of dollars, up to millions, in offshore accounts. Now, this is nothing new. We've always known rich and wealthy people will do that. Put money over to one side and everything. That's an act that is still yet to be determined whether or not it's criminal in a legislative law or some sort. Okay? Right now it's a wealthy right. The thing is right now that this infrastructure plan is doing is to take it easy with all of us, not just us, but the wealthy as well. And I hate to say that because they've been walking all over us and they've been passing the buck down to us, the taxpayers, for so long. They've been doing it for, a century now, maybe even longer than that. But a century is as far back as I had gotten. It's 2020s. They've been doing it so far along. I mean, in 1920s, they've been doing it all the way to the point where they're responsible for the Great Depression. So you know what I'm saying. AOC, I like AOC. But she really needs to try to stop talking as if whatever she says can make things better, or there's always a better way of handling this and all this other crap. And then spewing out this kind of garbage. Okay? That she's really got to stop doing that. She's trying to make herself look like the hero. And the thing is that she's looking like a jackass. Here's some props. Pelosi. She scuttered the planned vote on the infrastructure bill. She scuttered a planned vote on the infrastructure bill. It was that $550 billion of free spending, which again was supposed to go to infrastructure and stuff like that. The one part of that deal that I've also proclaimed is the thing that somebody like my Texas Governor Greg Abbott, Gestapo Greg, is gonna be taking advantage of. Okay, he's gonna take $2 billion for the wall. Okay, which is just downright stupid, and it's total BS. It's been proven. Excuse me. It's been proven that criminals, migrants, traffickers, whatever, are flying over, climbing over the wall, digging underneath the wall, sailing around the wall. If you're over there in the coastal areas, swimming around the wall, it's just dumb. It's stupid. And that it's not even going to be built completely. It's not going to be built completely because of the simple fact that it takes trillions itself to make a decent wall structure. What the previous administration, all the way down here to our current governor, has done is built these metal fences. That's it. There's nothing, there's nothing on the other. You could see the other side of it. You could see people squeezing through the gaps. I mean, it's just dumb. But in turn, that's the hustle. That's the hustle. Every project, whether it be the wall or a construction or something, Amazon is proof of this. They built a warehouse. They did it all off of taxpayers' dollars, but they still spent a little bit. They still paid the governor and anybody else in his administration that's in charge of this construction site a percentage or a little bit of a payoff, just so that way they can get away with doing that. Building on tax-paying dollars. Anywhere they want, wherever they want, whatever applicable, and all this good stuff. So, to think that it stops where they say it concerns national security, that's just a bunch of BS. You all know this. We all can see this. It's been going on since forever. There's a bunch of incentives for sedatives. Yeah, that too. There's a bunch of I already forgot the word. Sedatives. Jesus Christ. Cheese Louise. Incentives for politicians to get these projects up and moving and get it done and all this good stuff. Now, Pelosi is still making that pass, despite the fact that so many Republicans are saying no and that there's nothing in it and all this other stuff. It's a waste and all this good stuff. Infrastructure, that $550 billion infrastructure is going to help out with, well, everything concerning it. And it's quite obvious that the politicians who are opposing it, they're either getting enough money on the side already from infrastructure companies and bills that let them work whatever they want to work with. That's it for one. And for two, they're just too damn lazy. They're too lazy to work and use that money and budget it well enough for whatever more projects that are needed that could actually be put to good use. That money to good use. Okay? They're just worthless. Now, there could be something that they've done. It's easy for my governor, who's down here, we're here in Texas. It's easy for my governor to say, "Oh, we're not going to support it, but I am going to take $2 billion for the wall." It's easy for him to take advantage of it, whichever way it goes, because of the simple fact that he has this project, and it's a worthless one, that he can actually put there to make the rest of the citizens feel safe, or at least think that Gestapo is doing something good, which of course it's not. Now, What I can't understand is why doesn't Biden make some kind of economic or financial state of emergency? You know, Trump did declare a state of emergency, claiming that our lives and our country was in jeopardy when those little children were crossing the border and they needed to be put in little cages, and, you know, get smacked around, which of course led to the revealance that during the time that he was in charge and Obama was in charge from 2014 to 2018, you know, faculty were not only abusing children in cages, but they were sexually assaulting them. A total of 4,500 and change cases. I don't really remember the exact number. 4,500 plus cases of sexual assault on these children, on migrant children. You know, and all under President Obama's state of emergency, under Trump's state of emergency concerning migrants. Now, here's my thing: do we really need victims out of this in order for people to accept Biden's economic state of emergency? I mean, like, what does this mean? We got to have more pimps, put more bitches out there or something? I mean, what's going on? Besides, why in the world would we even need to rely on something like that when the 3.5 trillion can go to more jobs? You know, when the 3.5 trillion can go to actually economic good paying jobs and actually help out in restoring the economy. McConnell himself says the Democrats need to raise the debt ceiling on their own. I think that's a good idea. I think that's a very good idea. Because I agree with what Biden says. The Republicans, what they're doing is hypocritical, it's desperate, and just downright disgraceful. You know, they're playing, that's what he means when he says that they're playing Russian roulette with our country, with our country's economy. You know, what Biden needs to do is override or overrule or override. I don't know. I'm afraid I'm not really familiar with the politically correct term is on this. He needs to. I'm going to go with override because overrule sounds like something concerning the Supreme Court. What Biden needs to do is override everything and maybe do this economic state of emergency. There's got to be some way to get this done because the opposition right now is invalid. Nothing that they're doing is creating a solution to replace or even deter or entice Biden to look at anything else. In point of fact, it all still sucks. Every mention, from Manchin all the way down to saying, well, we shouldn't be having to be paying 3.5 trillion. We should be having to pay 2 trillion less than that. That's just idiotic. You know, so not only is there a horrible, invalid opposition, but it's invalid. It's also inexcusable. And it's unacceptable. Everything that he's doing in trying to deter or entice Biden into doing anything other than what he set out to do is downright dumb. Downright dumb. And it's just as dumb as AOC's doing it with her, well, let's see if we can get it done in 5 years instead of 10. Oh, hell no. You know, this person just isn't thinking. That cinema lady who's just opposing without any answer at all. Okay, that is one of the most invalid responses to opposition altogether. It's just as pitiful as the Republicans who are making up a bunch of stories and accusations and scare stories and horror predictions of destroying America and all this good stuff. Okay, Cinema fits right along with that, despite the fact that she's not trying to scare anybody into thinking we're all doomed. We're all doomed. You know, no, she's not saying anything. She's just saying no. And it's not good enough. It's not good enough. It's just as bad as trying to make up a reason, which is what the Repugs are doing right now. The Republicans are, making up a bunch of stories, and they're twisting facts about the economic plan, that one can't work with the other, and there's one that needs to be lowered or removed completely in order for the other two things to work. You know, and then they reversed course. You know, what they were saying was the economic plan, the infrastructure plan, the reconciliation, and the raise the debt ceiling. Well, you can't raise the debt ceiling in order for an infrastructure plan to work, and you can't have the infrastructure plan to work without the loose spending, and you can't have the free spending without the wealth tax. You know, none of that can be done, and especially none of that can be done with the wealth tax. You know, all I'm hearing, this guy, and here's where this show on Common Sense on Common Ground comes from. I, along with many others out there, unfortunately we're the outnumbered, are hearing nothing but blah, 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 blah. Spook stories, you know. Don't vote for it. Don't vote for it. It's the equivalent to repent. Repent. We're all doomed. The same dudes with the cardboard that wore the cardboard boxes and the cardboard signs saying that the end is near. The end is near. And that's all that we're looking at when it comes to opposition supporters. Not the opposition themselves. Those are the politicians. I'm talking about the douchebags that sit in my car. They get a ride. They request a rideshare ride in my vehicle, and they're just going on with this doomsday prophecy crap about the world coming to an end, about America coming to an end, you know, and all this other garbage. And they're using rhetoric, and they're using the doomsday prophecy that every single political opposition, everybody in a political chair, they're using every single thing, they're repeating every single thing that the political opposition is saying, but despite the fact that everything that the politicians are saying in opposition isn't valid. So all we're looking at is blah, 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 blah. It's the same spooky predictions. Terror predictions. It's the same shit over and over and over. And after a while, that becomes nothing but the same old song and dance. It's just idiotic. Now, this is where, again, this is what I'm talking about with Common Sense on Common Ground. Okay? You just got to see what we see, that prophecies can be made and predictions can be summed up and all this good stuff, but none of it is actual proof. And to be realistic, we are come far from anything to this kind of a catastrophic catastrophic outcome. There is a way, I'm sure, to prevent what is being predicted right now, this bankruptcy thing, that the country can go into bankrupt, and it starts with the financial economic ruin. Okay, there is a way to get out of it. I don't really know it right now because I'm not a political leader. I don't know anything about that stuff. I'm sure if I studied and looked into it, I could find one. But right now, that's not my job. My job right now is just to sport out the common sense way of thinking on common ground, because that's what I know. And that's really all that's meant to be said. And I'm touching on this just simply because of the simple fact that everybody's going, once again, just like the way I started this show in January or February, I can't remember. When I started this year, I started with this whole, there's doomsday shit going on both sides of the aisle, and between all of that are people like you and me who are just so down to earth that we look at things and we look at everything around us and we see that, that nobody's really talking on common ground or using common sense. So here I am once again sharing this with you guys while you guys are getting fed, spoon-fed, crap thrown at you for whatever reason, that we're all doomed. We're all doomed. We're not doomed. There is a way to get out of any kind of trouble. I just don't know it yet. Maybe some of you out there do. If you could, drop a line, or rather just, the only thing I got available right now is email. And it's atownmytown @gmail.com. I'll write that in the descriptions. For right now, that's pretty much it. Y'all stay safe out there. Y'all take it easy. So, we're not going into financial ruin, economic ruin. I don't care what all the critics say. Something's going to come up. Stay focused. Have a good one. Take care. Follow the money. Find out who's in opposition and why, who's supportive and why, and see who's just laying in waiting. Now, here in Texas, I've already stated, we can all see what my governor is doing. He's just waiting for the bill to pass in some way or another so he can take advantage of it in his way. That's probably a lot more practical than I'm even aware of. And the rest of the time, everybody else is doing their own agenda. It's all about following the money. If you can connect the dots, you got something. By all means, share and spread the word. But please, when you use my email, and unfortunately, I can't share anything with everybody out here because all I'm getting is propaganda bullcrap or rhetoric bullcrap. The people are gun people with combative weapons and all this good stuff. They're taking advantage of this, and they're killing innocent, defenseless people in massacres and in groves. Everything from those migrants all the way up to, although don't get me wrong, I am aware of the one that was whipping people, but okay, I'm running out of time. Let me get back to stay safe out there, keep cool. If you got anything, share. If you don't, that's cool. But please try to show something that isn't the usual rhetoric crap, okay? Y'all take care. Y'all take it easy. Stay safe out there. There's still the Delta variant going on. Y'all have a good one. Peace out. This is Chris with Chris Comments. Out.